Hello, everybody that's tuning in now or later. Hope you all can hear me pretty good. If you saw the post on social media, then you know today's topic. You know today's topic. You know today's topic. I'm getting ready to. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. About to do one last thing, y'all. Sorry for the delay. Got one more minute, really. I'm gonna go live. now. And we are talking about what exercises you all need to do if you have fibroids. If you have fibroids. What is that? My watch? Okay. Okay. Boom. All right. We are talking about, and I'm thinking, you all, I know I'm doing a lot, but it's worth it. Because the information, I'm trying to think of a great way where I can go live on all platforms. Um, so just give me a little bit of time, y'all. Try to go live on social media. It's kind of like a trip. I may have to invest in one of these StreamYard or somebody yard. No, it's crazy. Okay, so I think you also add it to your story. Good. All right. I think I'll be ready to go. Good. Okay, I'm live here. I'm live here, y'all. So yeah, we are talking about what exercises that you all need to do if you have fibroids. So you all know that has been my topic the entire month of April. I'm talking about women who have reproductive system issues. So things such as PCOS, cysts, fibroids, heavy menstrual bleeding, any of those issues. That's what we've been talking about. If you haven't been listening and watching, go back, start with the Heal Your Womb 1. Heal Your Womb 1 on YouTube, on Miss Fitness Diva, no matter where you're watching. Go watch Heal Your Womb 1 because that's going to first give you an understanding of what fibroids are. We need to know what they are and how they're created, how these little entities are made and are making women extremely angry, depressed, sick, painful, long cycles. They can be your worst nightmare. All right, because of how they're formed. And then the second one, I talked about Heal Your Womb Part 2 is where we talked about what we need to do first to eat, what foods we need to eat, what herbs we need to eat. We talked about herbal therapy. We talked about homeopathy. If you are familiar with me and my style of really getting people to a healthy lifestyle, I implement education. I'm really big on educating people because if you don't know, you don't know what to do right. I can't just, and I've been a trainer, I've been fitness training for over 13 years now. First started with myself. So if you all don't know my background, I started exercising when I was 8 years old, started working out with my mom at home, and it just caught on. It was just something that I loved. But as I've got more educated in my studies, of course, I graduated University of Memphis with my degree in biology. I've done pharmaceutical sciences work at Texas Southern University. So I know the contraindications of medications along with herbal therapy. Don't think you all can just do herbs and that's going to be it. And this is the conversation that I had with the lady, and I hope they can hear me over here. Let me unplug that. This is a conversation that I had with the lady earlier this week. She had fibroids. She had she had a total hysterectomy. And even though she doesn't want to have any children, and I tell her has nothing to do with whether you want to still have children or not, it's about us keeping our womb space and keeping that. Do you know what they're going to do with it once they take it out of you? 70% of Black women have um, fibroids before they're the age of 50. No, 80%. 80% Black women, 70% white women have fibroids before they're 50 years old. So while you're in your childbearing years, anywhere between the ages of 25 to 50, you will possibly have fibroids before you turn 50. All right. So, what are they doing with our womb? Why are they wanting to take people's and have hysterectomies rather than teach people what they need to do in order not to have fibroids? And even though it's not clearly stated what causes fibroids, we have enough evidence and information to make a good educated decision on how these little cysts, these balls of just mucus are formed. And I talked about it in Heal Your Womb Part 2. And in Heal Your Womb Part 2 and 1, we talked about it in both, but mostly in Heal Your Womb Part 2, we talked about the herbal therapy that you need to do. Now, I do not suggest anybody doing any herbal therapy if you're not going to eat right. We talked about that. If you're not going to eat right, then don't think you can just come in and do the herbal therapy and everything's going to be fine, because that is not the case. You have to change your diet. You're going to have to take things out, put things in, and then start on your regimen. I also did a part two on last Saturday, and I told people how to detox their womb. That's when I went in and gave you instructions on what you need to do in order to cleanse and detox your womb space. So it's not just I'm going to start eating these foods and taking these herbs, but going in and cleansing your reproductive system, going in cleansing your gastrointestinal system, your colon, doing a blood purifier, cleanser, burdock root, doing different things that you need to do to cleanse your organs, cleanse your womb space so it can set you on track to be healthy, and then taking in the herbs and doing the herbal therapy. And I'm just doing a recap. I'm not going to go in depth unless people have questions, but I want you all to kind of get a recap of what I've already talked about. So then, on top of the cleansing and the detox, we went over that. Today we're talking about movements and exercises that you need to do. And I want you all to know first and foremost about the exercises you need to avoid, because you should not do just anything. You just not shouldn't throw yourselves to the wolves. And if you have a trainer, if you're working out with someone who is training you, please make them aware that you have fibroids or you have some type of reproductive issue, because they can't help train what they don't know. And they can't help. And if they're, resourceful, if they're getting online or if they're reading books and if they're continuing their education, which is good, whether they're degreed trainer. There are some degrees certified personal trainers, and there are some trainers who are just certified. Doesn't matter, either one. Make sure that you let your trainer know, your integrative movement specialist know, all of these people, your exercise physiologists, whatever type of physical therapist, whoever you're going to, let them know what's going on with your body. Everybody needs to be on one accord so that the plan that is executed will benefit you. If they don't know, then your plan will not benefit you. And then you'll be like, okay, well, I've been with this person for 6 months and I'm not seeing drastic results, or I've been with this trainer a year and I'm not seeing drastic results. And that's because they may not know everything, and you need to let them know what's going on with your body. And also, they need to do some research, and continuing to educate themselves so that they can help you. All right. So let's get into it. Right. So we're talking about exercises that we need to do, in order to help to degenerate these fibroids or to shrink them. And I'm going to be on here long. So, first and foremost, one of the things that you need to do is something that's low impact. You should not be doing high intensity interval training. Pause. Okay, a reason being because it's strenuous on the body. All right, anything that's strenuous on the body is going to not allow the body to heal itself. The body needs rest, and it's already releasing out a lot of blood, it's taking out a lot of nutrients. Especially for people who are not putting nutrients into their body, it's taking out a lot of nutrients, and therefore you're going to put more stressors on your body doing a lot of high intensity interval training. All right. So you don't want to do HIIT workouts and you are suffering with fibroids. You're just going to exacerbate the issue. Now, not saying you can't do anything. So if you're not doing HIIT, you should be doing different forms of cardio. So what does that look like for you? Different forms of cardio can be swimming, it can be a light jog, it can be what else would be good? Just light cardio. Even if you like skating, jogging, swimming. Those would be some light cardio exercises that you want to do. I even do the row machine. It's not real strenuous. Anything that's low impact. You may even join a group fitness class and do some dance aerobics. I'm getting ready to teach a hip hop strength class, but it's private. It's a specific location. But if you want to do something like that, a hip hop strength, low impact, Zumba, a dance, any type of low impact aerobics is very, very good. I also highly suggest, and this is just my personal favorite, y'all. I like Tai Chi. Why do I say Tai Chi? Tai Chi is good because you're incorporating the breath work. You're bringing in more oxygen, okay? So you're relaxing the body. You don't want your body in a state of fight or flight. Again, I've already discussed this because you're already expending a lot of energy on just having fibroids. So if you have a lot of energy being expended out just having fibroids, so while you're trying to heal yourself and allow them to become necrotic and shrink and come out, you don't want to be losing a lot of energy that you need to fight. Right, makes sense. It's even like that with people with any type of illness or disease or cancer. You don't want to be expending a lot of energy out if you know your body needs that energy to heal itself. All right, it only makes sense. So if you're working out and you're someone who was like me, okay. When I first found out that I had fibroids, I was still a high intensity trainer. I was a burpee girl. I was doing all of the high intensity workouts. And then I learned that I had to limit those. Even though my body was used to it, I had to eliminate it, kind of like start decreasing it and eliminating and changing my movements. And that's where Tai Chi and I just really became friends because I learned those movements are slow, gradual, but it's what they call inward kung fu. So that inward kung fu is actually working and detoxing my organs. All right. And those movements are helping to remove toxins out of my body. So women who have fibroids or having any type of reproductive system issue, I suggest doing a form of Tai Chi because it's not a high impact martial arts, not like something like karate or taekwondo or kung fu in the regards of doing the martial art forms, but it's something that's really relaxing and it puts the body in a state of relaxation, and that's what your body needs in order to heal. All right. Thirdly, I would suggest yoga. I know it's been a mass push of yoginis in these last few years, especially during the pandemic. So it will not be hard to find a yoga instructor online. You can find a yoga instructor on YouTube. Locally, I know here we have yoga in the park. So yoga is going to be very easily accessible, more so than Tai Chi. It's not a lot of Tai Chi instructors who actually here locally that share with the masses. I do, but there are very limited classes. There's also a class here at the Dixon with Mylan. He teaches, yeah, yoginis. And he also teaches on Saturday and Sunday. But it's not a lot of Tai Chi instructors. You'll really have to dig into finding those classes. And then also yoga is widely accessible now. When I first started yoga in 2001, 2002, it wasn't as widely accessible. I was doing it on a DVD in my living room, and that's when I started doing yoga and meditation and really learning more about the breath work. But this is being more mainstream now, so you'll be able to find a yoga instructor that can work on your pranayama, work on your breath work. Same thing that we do in Tai Chi and Qigong. So it just depends on which one meshes better with you. I'm more of a Tai Chi, Qigong type of woman. You may be more of a yoga. Both of them are pretty much working on the same things I would suggest with the body. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so you want to get you a low impact cardio. All right, that would be swimming, a light jog, a dance movement class. You can do skating if that's fun for you. But swimming is definitely highly suggested. A low impact, no high impact. You cannot do any high intensity interval training. Okay, ladies, none of that. Secondly, you want to get into a light movement such as Tai Chi or yoga. You want to incorporate that into your workout. Next, you should not be doing any heavy lifting. All right. No heavy lifting, ladies. Nobody should be doing like me. Before I was in the gym, I was bench pressing with the guys. Not gonna lie, I'm doing deadlifts with the guys. I'm just going all out. I was lifting heavy. I was doing deadlifts over 300 pounds. I was bench pressing. I was doing all of that. Had to stop. Okay. So I'm not saying that you don't have to lift at all, but you should not be lifting heavy. And you should not lift heavy if you have PCOS and if you have fibroids, because it is increasing the blood flow to your abdominal area. And the fibroids feed off of the blood. So if you're increasing what they're taking in, just like what they tell people with cancer, don't eat sugar, right? So you're proliferating or you're causing them to increase and rapidly grow. So we don't want to do that with fibroids. So if you're a woman who has fibroids, you don't want them to rapidly grow. You want them to decrease, degenerate, shrink, and remove. All right, that's our goal. So we're not going to do things that's going to cause them to grow or to live. Right. So no heavy lifting. So in heavy lifting, instead of the heavy lifting, you want to do light. You want to do possibly more reps, but not really heavy and strenuous. So now when I go to the gym, and you'll probably see in my videos, you won't see me lifting heavy and just really overextending myself. I don't do that anymore. Even though I've had a numerous amount of fibroids degenerate and become necrotic, I am still very aware of my body, and I'm not going to do that. So I do not suggest that. And again, ladies, if you have a trainer and your trainer is having you lift heavy, if your trainer is having you do a lot of high intensity interval training, If your trainer is having you do a lot of those things that you know right now, because I'm telling you, this is not what I decided. This is scientific fact. All right. It's not, this is what I decided and this is what I want you to do. No, this is real studies, scientific studies. All right. So your trainer should know this. They should still be doing continuing education. And even if they're not, hey, Josh, even if they are not, they need to be researching what they need to do in order to help you. But they can't help you if you don't tell them. So I've had clients with lupus. I've had clients with leukemia. I've had cancer patients. I've had all types of clients. I've had even, I remember Karen, Karen, back in 2012, I believe, when I trained Karen. Karen Stubbs. What's up, Karen, if you watch this? Karen had plantar fasciitis. And at that time, she really wanted to run a half marathon. When I started, I trained Karen for a year. When we first started, she wanted to run, but with plantar fasciitis, if you all are familiar with it, that is pain that runs, from the bottom of your foot all the way up on the side, either the side of the leg and your calf, and it can be extremely painful. So, of course, we weren't doing a lot of movements on her feet. We did a lot of Pilates. We started off with doing Pilates. She had a Pilates reformer. If you're not familiar with that, you can look it up. She had a Pilates reformer upstairs in one of her game rooms or somewhere. We would go up there and we would use the Pilates reformer. We did a lot of band work. We did a lot of upper body strengthening. We did core work, and we did stretching to strengthen those ligaments and those muscles that were attached. So when she did start to run, and within 6 months, we got to a point where she was okay with starting to do like a mile. She had a treadmill. So we get on the treadmill, we do like a mile, she got used to doing a mile with no pain. Of course, we would stretch really good afterwards. And then we got to the point where the end of the year, she was running, and we actually ran it together because I'm crazy like that. I ran the half marathon with her. We did 13 miles in Germantown in the snow. All right. So, but Karen, boo, you did that. And I just trained Karen again. We trained again this year. Actually, she came back and I trained her family. So it's really cool. But I'm going to tell you all this, ladies. Everybody is not the same. And that's where, when it comes down to being educated, education and understanding the body, the anatomy and physiology of the body, and you don't have to be or have a trainer that is degreed. Okay, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that they have to implement and put in the time to be educated. And knowing if you have any type of ailment or issue with their body, let them know. They should know. They should question it in a consultation and in your fitness assessment if you're on medications or if you have any ailments with your body, if you've had any previous surgeries. But if not, then it's your responsibility to let them know. All right. So again, going back over this, light cardio is something you should do. All right. I also like, swimming is high ranking. Dance, low impact. You may get you a group class. And then secondly, I highly suggest doing something very low impact, but also stretches and gets in that breath work and gets that oxygen flowing to relax the body so you can put it into a state where it will heal itself. And that would be yoga, qigong, or tai chi. You can do any one of those. The inward kung fu is what I call it, with the qigong and the tai chi. Very, very important. And men, if you're listening, if you have a woman who battles with heavy bleeding, PMS, she has fibroids, or she's having some type of reproductive issues where she's angry during that time of the month, or she bleeds for a long period of time, this information is very valuable for her. I've done Heal Your Wound 1, 2, and this is 3. So all the information that I'm sharing is some things that can get her back on track. No woman should be angry on her cycle. No woman should cramp on her cycle. No woman should be laid out in bed angry for a week. No woman should be on their cycle for a week. Mm-mm. I told the lady the other day, I was like, my cycles are 2.5 days, tops, done. It. Finito. Over. All right. So, and I'm not angry. I'm not mad. I may get a little bit bloated. But nobody should be like that. All right. And it all comes in with the diet, the herbal therapy. And next week, we're going to talk about what meditation and sound healing looks like. I tapped on this a little bit, I think, in part 2, where I start to tell you all about the rhythm of the uterus. All right, because the uterus has a rhythm that syncs up with the scrotum during intercourse. And that's how the semen are released in order to create a baby. It's all rhythm. It's all a rhythmic, a harmonic type of frequency that's going on. And if you aren't aware of what's going on with your uterus and the rhythm of your uterus and what needs to be going on, if you have these I would say these critters, these little evil entities called fibroids or cysts that's sitting on your fallopian tubes or in your uterus, you don't have to get rid of your uterus. You don't have to have a total hysterectomy. Now, I talked to a lady. I'm gonna go back to the story. I talked to a lady. I'm not gonna say her name, but we had a conversation on this past week, and she told me how she had a total hysterectomy. She didn't have to, but she had a total hysterectomy. She said that she went through the herbal therapy. She tried going vegetarian. She did all of that. She said it just didn't work. Now, this is my thing. You cannot listen very, very closely, because this is where I was getting at with her. You cannot look for homeopathy. And homeopathy is herbal remedies. You cannot look for homeopathy to work just as fast as medication. Listen up, reason. Let's talk about this. This needs to be a conversation, because people will, and I know it's a new wave of people. I've been doing herbs since I was 12. So that's my disclaimer. My daddy put me on golden seal echinacea when I was 12. I've been knowing and doing herbs. This is not a new wave for me. All right. But it is a new way for a lot of people on doing herbal therapy and homeopathy. And they have lived a life. We have lived an excessive life. I would say most women may get fibroids in their 30s, some late 20s. I've had some women come to me in their late 20s, early 30s with fibroids. Now, this woman in particular, we're in her late 40s. Now, this is let's just sit back. Let's think about this shit. Okay. So for 40 something years, you've been doing whatever the fuck with your body. Right? You've been eating all kind of stuff. You've been excessively eating. You've been excessively drinking. You've been excessively smoking. You've probably been excessively sexing. You've been very excessive with your body. You just been doing whatever, doing whatever, doing whatever, doing whatever, doing whatever, whatever tastes good, whatever feels good, whatever you want. Then you find out you have something that you don't like, that it's not making you feel good. You're having heavy cycles. You're angry. You have bad PMS. So you like, hey, I'm gonna do these herbs. Or you may be like, hey, I'm gonna listen to Miss Fitness Diva, and I'm gonna go get them herbs she listed, and I'm gonna start eating plant-based, and I'm gonna do the damn thing, right? You might clean your womb out. Oh, that's good. But don't think just because you did that in the next 2 weeks that you're gonna be all zipped up, happy do-die day. All right. Herbal therapy, medications, or synthetics or chemicals. Herbal therapy, homeopathy are natural remedies that take time to get integrated within your system. They work with your body to enable you to be healed. It has to be a discipline. strict regimen, and you need to work with a naturopathic doctor or a homeopathy or a natural medicine or integrative medicine doctor in order for you to get the right remedy for you. All right, because we have to look at the causal level, your life force, what's taking you out of balance. All right. And then there's, the constitutional remedy. What's your constitutional remedy? Get that and then give you what your diagnosis is and your prescription and moving forward with that therapy. Now, your medications, synthetics over here, right? Synthetics actually cut off the messages, the nerve messages that go to whatever that area of pain is. So if you're having a headache and you take a Tylenol or you take a BC, what that is doing is cutting off the messages to those nerves that's saying it's pain, pain, pain. All right. So you won't have any more pain, but it's not saying whatever that's causing the pain is healed. If you follow, okay? Do you all understand what's going on right here? Your stomach hurts. You take something for stomach pain. You feel better. Now you can go back to do what you're doing. You took medication for it. The medication works on site within a few minutes. Woo, right? But whatever caused the initial pain has not been healed. It only cut off the message to the nerve endings, to that neural network pathway to stop the pain and that receptor that you won't feel it anymore. But the causal level at the root of the problem is still there. That's what I want people to understand with medicine versus homeopathy. Now we know about medicine and synthetics. Move that over to the side. Now we're looking back at herbal therapy and homeopathy. When you set your track, I give you heal your wound 1, heal your wound 2. Now we're on heal your wound 3, exercises and movements. I'm going a little bit back, rewinding it back for those who want to say, I want to go on this lifestyle. Or you may say, hey, I tried it and it didn't work. First thing is first. I'm giving you things on a very broad scale. It's very ambiguous because I don't know you. I haven't sat with you. I haven't had a consultation with you. I don't know your background. I don't know your medical history. I know nothing about y'all. But I'm giving you out information that on a broad spectrum does work. But is this going to work just by you pulling it out for everybody? Possibly no. So that's when you need to contact. If you're someone who has fibroids that are bigger than a golf ball and you're having cycles for more than a week, your cycle lasts longer than a week, you're in extreme pain, nothing you seem to do works, you need to get with a natural medicine doctor. All right. You need to get with an integrative doctor or specialist because what you're doing, you're picking this. Oh, I'm going to try the yoni pearls, or I'm going to try this person's detox tea, or I'm going to try this yoni steam, or I'm going to try this, I'm try that, but you have no real remedy for you. All right. You don't know what you need because you don't know what you're doing. You're just picking and choosing, just like when I was on the show the other day and I was telling her, I was educating her on the fact that people will make smoothies and they'll put anything in their smoothies just because it's a fruit and vegetable, and that shit is wrong. Stop it. Okay? Like, just because you're saying, I want to lose weight, I'm just going to start drinking smoothies. It may work for somebody. Some people do it and it works for them. And somebody else be like, man, I did smoothies, I did juicing, I did everything and it didn't work. Well, what were you juicing? Because you can't put subacidic fruits with acidic fruits together because your body is going to react differently because it doesn't know how much hydrochloric acid to produce in your gastrointestinal tract, which will possibly cause you to do an overproduction for the fruit that doesn't even need it. And now you have a bloating or inflammation in the belly because you have mixed fruits and vegetables that don't need to go together. And it's the same thing with herbs, right? Even if you're on medication, when you're on medications, you need to know the contraindications of that medication with the herbal therapy that you're on. This is not something that the regular person would know. All right. Felicia, what's up, girl? When you coming back here? This is not something that a regular person would know. Hey, I'm doing comfrey and I'm doing valerian root for pain and relaxation because of my cycle. Is this going to have any contraindications with lisinopril or hydrochlorothiazide or maybe any type of medication you're on for, stress or depression? Does this have any, and when I say contraindications, for those of you who don't know, will it have any adverse side effects? These two medications may not mesh well together. You possibly shouldn't take them at the same time. All right. So the contraindications meaning can have some side effects because they shouldn't go together. Just like when a doctor will tell you to space out, like first you'll take this medication this time, but give yourself about 3 to 4 hours, put something on your stomach, and then take that. Okay. The same thing goes for, herbal therapy. So we can't just think that we can do what, okay, we just can't think that we can just mesh in herbal therapy with whatever the fuck we want, because we can't. And then you won't get what you thought you was going to get as your overall reaction to the herbal therapy that you tried. So first things first, you do want heal your womb. One, go watch that. It talks about how fibroids are created. I broke it down in layman's terms. Two, heal your womb. Two, I talk about the herbs you need. We went over comfrey. We went over chase tree berries. We talked about red raspberry leaf. Those are the two female herbs that you can use in conjunction with the dandelion, the white willow for pain, and all of that. We went over all of those, and it was a list of them. Then the second part two, I did that next day was the detox the womb and why you need to detox the womb and why you need to detox your womb on your own. Can be part of a vaginal steam or yoni steam, or if you are familiar with herbal therapy and you know the herbs that the person who you are getting the yoni pearls from are using, then you can do that. I don't suggest women just purchasing yoni pearls just because this person is saying they have these reviews and these women have used it. Because just like I said before, some people can, just use and put anything and it works. It works for them. But for me, I'm very detailed. I want to know what herbs are in this. And I need to know what I'm sticking up in my vagina. Okay, y'all need to know what you're sticking up in your womb. Do some research. Be like, okay, well, what herbs you put in this? Okay, I may get it, but let me go do some research. Let me look at, the medications that I'm on as well, if you're on any medications, and see if there's any contraindications between these herbs and my medications, and see if this will be something that's good for me. All right. Okay, thank you. All right. And then she may say, well, these herbs just good for everybody. If you got fibroids, it's good for you. It's going to help get rid of them. Boo, boo, boo. Okay. I want to do my research. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, but I want to do my research. Is that okay? It is my body, right? And even with the detox teas, and I'm a firm believer, I don't suggest anybody take anything into their body that they don't know about. And this goes for people who are, claiming the holistic hat and are doing these natural remedies, as well as doctors, as well as your grocery stores, just anybody, this across the board, even me. Y'all check me. You know what I'm saying? Like this go for everybody. Nobody should put anything in their body they don't know. And first and foremost, like I tell people, if you don't know your blood type, you need to start there. Right? I think I told you all on the first one on Heal Your Womb 1. If you don't know your blood type, you need to start with figuring that out. Go to your doctor. If you're giving blood, then go get those. Go get that. Know if you're O, A, B, A or B. Okay? Know what you are so you can start eating the foods for that and knowing what type of movements you should do for your blood type. Your blood type is associated with types of exercises that you are more successful in and your body will respond to. And a lot of people do not know that. I'm O positive. My body responds to high intensity training. So I'm very good at sprints or spurts of energy out and then relaxing. Okay. Long marathons, not my thing. Long dragged out movements, not my thing. Yoga, not my thing. But when I had fibroids, I learned that I had to incorporate these movements. So that's why Tai Chi and Qigong, that inward Kung Fu, for me worked out best for my blood type. Okay. A positive. Okay. So those people, you are more A. So you all are vegetarian, I believe, by nature. And you all may be more of a yoga type of energy. But you can go on Google and it'll show you. It's a chart. I posted it on my page before. It was one of the charts because I've read the book over and over and over by DeJomo. Is really, really good. He's a naturopathic medicine doctor back in the 80s. And then his daughter picked up after him. So Eat Right for Your Blood Type is a really good book. I read it. I even have it on Audible. So I always tell people, first and foremost, know your blood type. Not just for the foods, but when you do research on your blood type, it's going to tell you the type of exercises and movements your body needs to do in order for the response to happen. Okay. So you may be more of, just like Felicia just said, she may be an A person who yoga, Pilates, Tai Chi would do better for her to firm up her body. She would want to incorporate more of that than a lot of high intensity. She may find that she's extremely exhausted trying to do high intensity interval training. Someone like me, I come around and I can do box jumps. I'm burping. I'm doing all of this. I'm jumping rope. I'm doing sprints, and it feels good, and I'm still not tired. That's my blood type. So a lot of people will compare themselves to other individuals, but it's based on their blood type. And they may not even know that they're so good in yoga because they're A or AB blood type. They may just feel like I just love yoga. I'm just good at it. And I could just do handstands and it's wonderful. Was your blood type. A lot of people who are extremely athletic and have really athletic builds without even trying. You know, they don't even try to be athletic and they just can do stuff, or they're really strong, or they can do things really quick and spontaneous. They could be an like I'm O positive. They could be an O blood type because it's just in their nature. Along with the blood type, you're also going to find out what herbs that you need to also take that's good, that corresponds with you. Okay. And when you get into your constitutional remedy, and I may be throwing out some terms to a lot of people who are like, hey, I don't know what she's talking about. It seems like she's foreign language. This is all a part of the homeopathy and herbal natural remedies. So at your very base level, ladies and gentlemen, you have a life force that keeps you moving and breathing and hopefully most of the time in balance. When your life force, that energy that resides in you, some people call it prana, some people call it the energy force, some people call it the Holy Spirit. It's just this innate force that resides within you that keeps you alive and it meshes with your spirit. But your life force, when your life force is off balance, then you have illness, disease, cancer, autoimmune diseases, all viruses, bacteria are easily attached to you. You get sick easily because your life force is off balance. So in homeopathy and naturopathic medicine, we look at the life force at the very causal level. What is causing the imbalance? That's why I also tell people it's very important to go to an acupuncturist. If you have never been, you O positive too, Native Indigenous blood type. I tried veganism, almost died. I need meat in my. Yes, we are protein eaters. O positive, you have to have it's a high protein diet because we produce more hydrochloric acid where we can break it down. All right. So a lot of the other blood types don't produce a lot of hydrochloric acid. We do. So we can break down more. We can break it down easily than most. So we have those strong bouts, I have that native indigenous blood type too. So my father did, my mother did, my son is as well. I am too. So we have that blood type where we can do that. But your herbs, knowing that the herbs for your blood type is going to set you on a path for just healing yourself at the life force, at the causal level, along with what I'm going to talk about next week. Next weekend, I'm going to talk about what meditation and sound therapy, sound healing. So a lot of people don't think about sound healing, but everything is a vibration, okay? Everything is, if you try to even sit still, you'll feel your body vibrating because your heart is still pulsing. Blood is still running through your veins. Like everything is still pumping, vibrating. Your organs are alive. Organ, rhythm. Like I just said before, the uterus has a rhythm to it. When the uterus rhythm is out of balance and out of sync with what the body needs, and it's been excessiveness, all right, of things going in, such as alcohol, coffee, fried foods, synthetics, chemicals. And when I say that, I'm talking about medications as well as fried, processed, box packaged foods. Okay. So even though I know some people go on keto diets, or I used to have women who are on Jenny Craig, and it's something else out there. But anyway, they would have these frozen meals in box meals in the freezer. And I'm just like, that ain't healthy to be eating that. Okay. Now, even though they're giving you these macronutrients and your micronutrients, and it is all in alignment with your caloric intake, but it's not healing you from an ingredient perspective. And that's when we need to know what are the ingredients, more so than looking at macro and micronutrients, because anything can be a calorie or can be caloric or kilocalorie. Do you understand? Like kilocalorie, that's the energy that is needed. We learn in chemistry and in biology a kilocalorie. All right, that's the energy that the body needs in order to produce the ATP. So we get into that. Anything can be a kilocalorie, it can give you energy, but what is it created from? And we need to know if it's from an unnatural source, then the body is going to recognize it as foreign. And that's also why it's important for us to eat as our blood type and kind of understand that. Have it, I wouldn't say you're going to be 100% on it, but have it in the back of my mind, like me. I know I can't do cabbage. I know I can't do eggplant. I know those things aren't good for me. I know I can't do cauliflower. If I do it, then I know I'm going to get bloated because my system doesn't recognize it as something that it can easily break down. And it's going to go into a mode of attack, which could possibly cause me to be inflamed, or it could cause early arthritis. So a lot of you all will talk about how you're, in your 30s and 40s, and you're already having like these arthritic and arthritis type of issues. And it's mainly because you're eating foods that inflame you within your joints because your body doesn't recognize it, and it sits and it gets into these different grooves of your body, and you get arthritis. All right. So all of it stems back to that. So anyway, I will go on. But going back to the ladies. Again, ladies, important. First and foremost, know your blood type. You should know your body better than your doctor. Nobody should know your body better than you. So know your blood type. Know what you get the chart. I've posted the chart on various platforms. I know I posted on Facebook and on Instagram. So get the chart. You can Google the chart. Get that chart. Go back, look at Heal Your Womb 1, 2. This is 3. And then next week, we're going to talk about the rhythm. We're going to talk about the frequency of the womb and what sound healing would look like for you. Because again, like I said, during intercourse, the uterus has a frequency, and then you also have a frequency that is matched up with the scrotum. So the sperm will be able to go inside and match up with the egg. And it's all based on a rhythm or a frequency or sound. All right. It's a sound. So that's what we're going to talk about next week. We're going to get a little bit deeper into that. So thank you all for checking in on YouTube. Thank you all for checking in on Facebook. If you have any questions, maybe for yourself, for a spouse, for a loved one, make sure that you inbox me. You always can send me a message at themissfitnessdiva@gmail.com. You can inbox me. You can drop it in the comment section or in the chat. Ladies, I am doing the Snatched movement. Now, I went over all of that. Y'all need to know what snatch means, because my snatch is different than everybody else's because I educate. That's why the ED is big at the end. I love you, Felicia. That's why the ED is big at the end, because it's snatched education. I'm educating women on this, your waistline, your belly button area, getting this down. All right. Not having this area protrude, because when our waistline is larger than our hips, okay, the hip to waist ratio, when your waist is larger than your hip, anybody, will tell you that it puts you more in a higher range for illness and disease. You're more susceptible to illness and disease when the belly is protruding out past the hip. So your hip to waist ratio, we have to look at that. So we're educating on that, and it starts in May. So if you're interested in that, and there are some tools, I definitely have the Snatch Waist Trainer on MissFitnessDiva.com. Ladies, we are going to go more into what Snatched is going to incorporate, what it's going to be, and what the challenge is. If you're interested, I want you to text the @Snatch ED to 81010. Don't forget, because I had somebody else they forget. Put the @, okay? SNATCH dash, or the little hyphen, ED. So you have to put snatch -ED with the @ in front, @snatch -ED to 81010. You'll be automatically opted in to receive my messages, and I'm giving everybody who opt in a special gift for all of you all who are going to be in the Snatch Challenge, which is starting in May. So ladies, if you're interested, share this with a friend. This is about educating us. If 80% of Black women get fibroids by the age of 50, we need to be educated. Something's going on. We need to decrease these numbers. We need to get back on our shit. We need to know what we need to eat, and we need to care about the way we eat. We need to care about our bodies. We need to think about it, and we need to be educated. So it's a lot of exercising that's going on, which is really good. I love that we're moving more and we're exercising more, but I really want us to be educated more. Hey, Kimmy. I really want us to be educated more. And that's what Snatched is about. So we want to be sexy. We want to be snatched. We want that small waistline, but we need to be educated about how to get it and how to keep it. And that is where we're going. Okay. That is what the Snatched movement is all about. So you see the messages, the @Snatch -ED to 81010. Join the movement. Get with me. Get educated. Join that. I'm giving you all special goodies for those who opt in early before May. I'm giving you all some freebies that I want you all to enjoy so we can get started, and share with a friend, said that you all can all do it together. Ain't no need of you being snatched in these streets, and your friend ain't snatched. Girl, get your friend need to be snatched too. She gonna be like, why you didn't tell me? Like, who is this? What? Or whatever. But anyway, thank you all for watching and tuning in. I hope I gave you all some secrets, some gems, some information that can help you on your journey to living a healthier lifestyle. Continue to educate yourself. Continue to stay in the know of what your body needs. And if you don't know your blood type, that is your homework. And I'll see you all next week live as we talk about healing your womb through meditation and sound healing. All right. Peace.